What's going on, people? Welcome back to the opposition preview. I'm joined by a very special guest to look ahead to the game against Liverpool. I'm joined by Callum from Team Kopish as we look ahead to a massive tie, mid-table clash. As always, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to not miss out on future Palace content. Callum, it's been a while, man. It's been a while. I was on your channel the other day. That was good to have a laugh about Liverpool, but talking about seriously, what's going on this season? Going into this game, confidence ain't that high. It's been a pretty, it has been mediocre for Liverpool standards based on what they've been doing in previous seasons. What's gone wrong?
I think everything that could have gone wrong. I think the negligence we showed in the summer, a bit of arrogance in my opinion as well, not signing a couple of midfielders. I think that's come back to really take away from our season. I think the fact that we lost Mane, I think everyone knew we were losing him, especially before the Champions League final. How we replaced him, though, is the issue. Núñez isn't, for me, the issue. The fact is, we went out and got Calvin Ramsey, who doesn't seem like he's ready to really challenge Trent yet. We brought in Carvalho, who it seems like Klopp doesn't really rate or doesn't know what to do with. So we bought 3 players in the summer, and only one of which has actually been playing football for us, and all 3 are seen as project players as well. When you finish second in the league by 1 point, you miss out on the Champions League by losing 1-0 and you win the other 2 trophies, the last thing you want to be doing is getting project players. You want to be getting players already established. So I think that's been a major factor. I think Jurgen Klopp has been pretty poor this season. His tactics, his player loyalty, formation, the way he sets up has just been below par, and doing that throughout the season, as well as sort of players not hitting top form. Fabinho's been bad, Henderson's been bad, Salah hasn't been himself. Núñez got sent off against you guys, which derailed the start to his season. Then you also had the issue with injuries as well. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong.
Wow. I feel sorry for you guys, but you've had a lot of success. You've had a lot of success lately. Trust me, it's fine having one season like this. But it's interesting that you've said that about everything going wrong. And you mentioned Klopp there. How much is Klopp to blame? Because I've seen it from Liverpool fans saying that he was the one that decided not to go and get another midfielder, for example. We've known it. I've seen it as well with Liverpool. You've needed a midfielder, but it seems like Klopp didn't want to go and get it. Are those rumours true? And if it is, why didn't he go for it if these problems were there already in the first place? If not in the summer, why not in January?
Yeah, so that's the thing. So apparently we wanted Tchouaméni. He was really close to signing, but Real Madrid came in. Again, I can't lose sleep over that. We've done that to plenty of teams. Plenty of teams will do that to us in the future. That's just the way football goes. For me, you've got to have a backup plan. For me, the backup plan was Jude Bellingham. The moment for me, it's clear that Borussia Dortmund aren't selling Jude Bellingham, you move on to another target. Because the fact of the matter is we don't just need one centre midfielder. We need about 2 or 3. Some would even argue 4. So, you can't get Jude Bellingham. You don't sit on a squad that you've got, which hasn't been good enough in midfield. Then you think, okay, he's addressed that. He's made a mistake. He brought in Artur on loan. He then gets injured. That's a complete write-off as a signing. You get to January thinking, right, he's going to fix his mistake. You get Cody Gakpo early. You think, okay, cool. We needed another attacker. Cody Gakpo's in through the door. Obviously, he was the easier one to sign. We were going to wait for the centre midfielders to come. Didn't come. And you're just looking at the situation thinking, well, again, you've been neglectful the first time. This now is stupidity. In terms of this season as a standalone season, I think Klopp takes around 60% of the blame. I still don't look. My relationship with how I feel about the owners isn't good. I just don't rate them as owners. But Klopp knew the assignment at hand, and he hasn't matched up to the assignment. So for me, this current season is mainly on him.
So let's say going into next season, you've seen similar problems, or even maybe this season. It depends on you. Would you want Klopp out of the door?
So here's a killer. This is where I completely contradict everything I'd usually say. If this was any other manager, I'd be like, you should probably look to move him on. I don't think we can do that with Klopp. And not because he's just higher power or any less or more human than anyone else. I just think with how we're run as a club, I don't think we can afford to use Jurgen Klopp. So, I mean, really and truly, we need new owners before we get a new manager. So I'm going to say no, but at the same time, I have to understand that if he continues to get worse, because this current set of players is still good enough to finish top 4. If he continues to get worse, then I may have to have a look in the mirror and face some hard truths.
Yeah, but that's mad though. The fact that he's probably the most successful manager for a very long time at Liverpool.
Oh yeah.
It's, talking about the Premier League, the Champions League, like it's just mental that it's reached this stage. And I guess it has its cycles. Football has its cycles, and this is the rough patch. It just depends on how you come out of this. But in terms of Palace, what have you made of Palace this season? As I said, it does seem like a mid-table clash at this current stage. We're both in a mess. For Palace is normally where we are anyways. But for you, we spoke about Palace a lot in the past. We spoke about the likes of Conor Gallagher, literally every week. Of course, he's gone now. What have you made of us?
It's been a weird season for you guys. 12th in the league at this stage of the season is not a bad season for Palace. But you look at the manager you've got, you look at some of the players you've got, and you think there's more in there. You're better than 12th now. So I don't think you're underachieving. You're not overachieving. But I also don't think you're where you should be either. I just think you should be doing a little bit more. But I think that comes down to your board and your owners. Vieira in his first season proved that he can get you guys playing football. He's got a structure. He's disciplined. He's got the squad disciplined, and they're doing what he's asking them to do. But there's only so much you can do with mediocre players. No disrespect to some of the guys. You look at players like Zaha. You look at players like Edouard, who I think is really good. Eze, I think, is brilliant. Elise is brilliant. Decore, who you brought in. But outside of that, have you got enough? I mean, Anderson's settled in really well. I remember watching Anderson first game of the season against Arsenal. And when he got into the game and started hitting those diagonals to Zaha and getting Zaha to isolate Ben White, that's when you saw Palace starting to really cook. But again, once one of those players gets suspended or injured, he's got nothing to lean back on. Conor Gallagher's gone. You haven't really replaced his goals and assists as well. So it's a tough one for Palace. It is a tough one, but I think he needs to be backed properly.
Yeah, I think that's why this summer's been...
I know a few players who might be on the market this summer.
Don't say Joe Gomez. I've heard that name. I don't know why. I don't know why Liverpool fans have all the they're talking about us from Joe Gomez. Like we've got Joachim Anderson and Mark Gahey. Give Joe Gomez, I don't know, 2 other stands that need it. Maybe Southampton. I don't know why all of a sudden you guys want
because he's South London. South London, isn't it?
It doesn't matter if he's South. You can be Southampton. You can be Southampton instead of South London. All I care about. But look, let's talk about some of the players. Nunes. Was literally in his head in his first game. Literally, he got sent off.
Yeah.
Who is the standout players? Because I thought he was, if you're talking about recent performance against Real Madrid, I'll be honest, he was, I shouldn't laugh, but now you're on our channel, I can It was quite like hilarious at certain stages. The fact that you 2-0 up and then all of a sudden, damn, Liverpool are back. They are back after 20 minutes, 2-0 up, and then you managed to lose 5-2. Nunes was one of the standout players out of them performances. I thought he wasn't as bad in that game. But who's been, you mentioned a lot of players that's been really bad this season, but who's been half decent or decent that we should watch out for in this game?
Our best player's been our goalkeeper, and that says it all. I remember Man United went through a patch where I think it was like 4 years on the run. David De Gea was their player of the season. Alisson Becker's our player of the season. And look, I know the mistake he made against Real Madrid was an absolute howler. Like, no two ways about it. But you take Alisson out of the sticks this season, we're definitely below you in the table.
Yeah, below us. I was about to say
100% below you in the table. We're around 15, 16 without Alisson this season. Even the Newcastle game, won that 2-0. If anyone watched the game, he saves from Almiron in the first couple of minutes, saves from Alex Maximin. They hit the post, and then he saves us towards the end of the game as well. Like, the guy is incredible. He's the best goalie in the world. And I know it's not going to sound like it at the moment because of what he just did, but he's the best goalie in the world. And without him this season, then it'd be rough. I wouldn't be doing this preview if you put it up, but
I'll still have to have you on here. Whether it's the Championship or the Premier League, you'll still be on here. Trust me, you're not running away. You've had all your success. Now it's our time to laugh about Liverpool. Because in the past, I haven't really gone through it, but in the past you have hurt us. I've heard the story.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm not as sorry as others might be. But look, Alisson, I thought, he's been decent. He's been stand-up players. But Virgil van Dijk, what's up with him? I thought he was one of the greatest Premier League players or defenders of all time. What was that? What, just for 2-3 seasons? Is that the bracket we're talking about? Because he's fallen off a cliff.
I can't put my finger on it with Van Dijk. I'm not too sure what's going on. I don't know if.
You know what it is? Let me jump in. And
Yeah,
you
go on,
can correct me or not.
Yeah.
I think it's down to, it starts from the front. Because you was a very good team with your pressing and your midfield. That when Van Dijk was called upon, it wasn't as often. And he had that cover in front of him. Yeah. And now that it's pretty much opened up, the midfield is opened up. The attack is not pressing as it was with the likes of Mane and Salah's still there, of course, but Mane I think is a huge miss. I think it's opened up. The whole system's opened up, so you're relying on more Van Dijk to be defensively, and I think he's getting exposed. Is that right? You can tell me that I'm wrong. I just want to hear your thoughts on it.
No, you're not. You're actually not wrong. The issue with that though is, it's almost like a goalkeeper who's facing more shots, therefore conceding more. It looks worse than it is. I actually think the problem with Van Dijk has been himself this season. But again, I've got to look at Klopp as well. Whenever Van Dijk's been injured or just come back from injury, he's been thrown straight back into the team. I'm not a fan of doing that. I don't think we should be doing that at this stage at Liverpool. But it seems as though Klopp's got his core group of players that, if they're available, that they play regardless of what's going on. And I almost think he's suffering from burnout, and he, for me, should have been given an extended break. I don't think he should have come straight back in. The problem is, because there's no Konate there at the moment, and Matip and Gomez aren't playing well at the moment, Klopp's probably thought, I've got to throw him in, but it's working against us because he's just not at the level he should be. Saying that, though, without him against Newcastle or Real Madrid, we concede even more goals than we actually did.
Yeah. The thing is, when we say he's having a bad season, it's bad by his standards. It's not like one of the worst defenders in the Premier League. I think he's still a very good defender. But then again, when you're talking about all-timers, I don't know about you, there was a lot of mention about where he ranks all-timers. I think longevity matters as well. Maybe this is a blip, but I need him to do it a bit more often for him to reach that stage. But then again, how he is that strong, tall, physical, like he's got the IQ, but just sees some of the goals that you guys have conceded, it's been a bit odd when Van Dijk has been there as well. Even against us in the first game, I think it was against Zaha. He just backed off. And then it was a goal. He's had few of the moments where he's been backing off. I don't know why. I don't know who's made him scared like that. But yeah, we're talking about. Let's move on to the final bit of the show, and that's score predictions.
My favorite bit.
How are you feeling?
Not confident, bro. I gotta be honest. I'm not.
Take away the Madrid game. You're facing Palace at Selhurst Park.
I know, but
think about it like that.
We're very much a momentum team, though, and also the fact of how we're playing right now, it seems as though everyone can take points off us. Like, I remember going to Brentford and they had no Ivan Toney, and I'm thinking, we could get something here, and we get turned over 3-1, and it could have been worse. Could have been way worse. I hate doing this when it comes to. I think we're going to lose 2-1. I massively hope I'm wrong. I do think we're going to lose 2-1 because we're just not defending well. And then when we are attacking, we just don't seem to have that urgency at the moment either. So I've got to go against the boys, which is painful for me to do. I've got to go 2-1 Palace. I hope I'm wrong, though.
Liverpool. I think it's going to be 3-0 Liverpool.
I'll take that.
Your quality side. You got some dangerous players. You got some very good defenders, as we mentioned them. Got a strong midfield as well. I think you got one of the best right backs in the league in Trent. Amazing defensively. You got an amazing team. You got an amazing team that's been unlucky.
On paper, we got an amazing team. They're not playing like it.
I'm just taking the piss. I'm just waiting for your reply.
This is what I mean. I can't even come back here. I've got to take it on the chin. This time last season, I could be like, nah, D, leave it off, bro. I can't even do nothing now.
Honestly, our season's over. So whilst we have oppositions like you on the channel where you're shocking, I might as well have a bit of a laugh. Because honestly, there's nothing about this game. What if we win this game? We're up to 11. If we lose, we're down to 14. Doesn't really matter. In all honesty, but I'd like us to go get a point. But I'm going for 1-0. I think at home, I think we could get a point. And I don't think it's going to be easy because even though you're out of form, I don't think it's going to be easy. But I think we can go get a point. But look, thank you, Cal, for jumping on the channel. I was on Team Kopish as well, so make sure to check out that preview. And also make sure to check out Team Kopish for all the match reactions. Also, they talk about the Premier League. You got Premier League live stream coming up, I think, today as well. Tonight, so head over to Team Kopish. The link will be in the description down below. Cal, until next time.
Bless you, bro. Thank you.